have probably made a huge mistake, but I can't really back out of it now. So we're gonna see this through. Wish me luck. Hi guys, my name is Kim and welcome to my channel. I got a couple of items from the thrift store that needed some alterations, so I'm just gonna go ahead and cut straight to the video. But first, a little disclaimer for you guys. My sewing skills are at best subpar, and my methods of sewing are unconventional and, dare I say, even lazy at times. But the purpose of this video is mainly for your entertainment and my torture. So if you're into that, just keep watching. So the first project we will be working on is with this basic neutral button-down shirt. Nothing is inherently wrong with this, but the sleeves are a little too long for my liking, so we will be taking on the task of shortening these cuff sleeves for a better fit. So I shortened cuff sleeves in the past, however, I only did it once, and it was actually one of the first sewing projects that I did using a sewing machine for the first time. And let me tell you guys, that shit was so hard to do. Even to this day, this is still one of the most difficult sewing projects I've ever done, and I vowed myself to never do it again. And yet here I am, doing this again. However, I feel like this time, this is gonna be a little bit easier. At least I hope. So we're just gonna see how it goes. So I marked how much is needed to shorten the sleeves. Here is a visual for you guys to get a better view. And it turns out I need to shorten them right above the button, which is approximately 5 inches. And to my relief, I still get to keep the slit and don't necessarily have to create a new one unlike the first time. So all I have to do now is remove this button. Thank fucking God. It's time to cut. I'm gonna cut about 1/4 of an inch to an inch below the line, below the button really, to allow for seam allowance. So here we go. It's a very rough cut, but that's perfectly okay. Now we gotta do it to the next one. And we are all done. So now that both sleeves are cut, I currently have 2 cuffs in my hands. So the plan now is to split open the seams and remove the extra fabric from the cuffs before reattaching them to our new shorter sleeves. So pardon the mouse and the rough exterior. I just wanted to slip into something more comfortable because this part of the project takes the longest. So while I separate the fabric from the cuff, I'm just gonna go ahead and watch some videos. And of course,
my roommate wouldn't call me son.
it's on commercial. I don't have YouTube Premium, guys. Oh, a lot quicker than I thought it would be. So that's one cuff done. Now for the next one. Right, we got the 2 cuffs separated and all. So what we're gonna go do now is reattach the sleeves. Alright, so let's get ready to pin. So you notice this hole or gap as soon as we open the cuff. This is where we will be tucking in our new shorter sleeve. So as you guys can see, I am tucking the ends into the gap and securing it with pins, making sure the cuff is even with the chalk that I marked earlier. The original sleeves had pleats on the button side, so I am grabbing some extra fabric and folding it in to create a pleat, securing it with pins as I go around. And once we are done, this is what our cuff will look like once we sew. And we simply repeat the same process on the opposite sleeve. Alright, it's the next day. I look semi-presentable and I am exhausted. But we are gonna go ahead and finish this little project. Using my trusted sewing machine gifted by my lovely coworker buddy, I am sewing around the sleeve using a simple straight stitch and removing each pin as I go down. And here we have our finished product. Not a decent job, but not a terrible job either, if I do say so myself. With the new shorter length, the sleeves definitely looked more tailored to my arms and no longer swallowed up by the original sleeves. Would I revisit this project again? God, I hope not. But boy, am I glad to have gotten that out of the way and not doing too much with it. Now, on to the next project. The next piece we will be altering are these corduroy pants. I really love the forest green color and how it fits on the waist, but I didn't like how the bottoms are cut, so I thought they would look better if we cut them into shorts. So I looked all over Pinterest in order to get some ideas, and I came across these pictures. I really like the length of how these shorts look, but I wasn't sure of whether or not these would look good on my petite frame, so there's only one way to find out. So I look like Halloween. Hold on. These are what the pants look like. I added on a belt because I belt most of my bottoms anyways, but the way these pants are cut awkwardly around my ankles makes me look even shorter. And for reference, you guys, I am like 5'1", give or take an inch. And the ends are fraying pretty badly, I would say. There's bits and pieces of it on the floor. So we're going to go ahead and do some major amputation before it gets worse. So I'm visually trying to measure exactly how much I intend to cut these pants. All I know is that anything above the knee is ideal for me. So I'm going to go ahead and use my broken chalk and mark about 2 inches above my knee. And that is definitely not a straight line, but we can fix it later. I quickly took the pants off to adjust and clean up the marking. And simply put, we are just going to go ahead and do a straight cut through. I went ahead and folded and aligned the pants so that we know exactly how much we needed to cut to make our progress a little easier. Now, is it the professional way? Probably not, but then again, I'm no pro. As long as it gets the job done, then I think it's okay to do things the easy way. And here we have our shorts. You can definitely finish the shorts at that and wear them as is. I've seen so many videos where they just leave the hem like this. But I'm a paranoid person afraid of fraying over time, so I'm going to pin back about 1 inch of fabric at the bottom. So when pinning back the hem, we need to make sure the length is about the same thickness as we go around. Otherwise, one of the pant legs is going to end up shorter than the other. And I wasn't kidding with the bits and pieces of fabric, guys. They were everywhere on my sheets. After I was done, I used a lint roller to catch these suckers, and they kind of look like bugs. But it was pretty satisfying once I had them removed from my blanket. Alright, let's go ahead and finish. So I normally use a straight stitch to finish the new hem, but because the ends were distressing really badly, I'm going to use a zigzag stitch instead to prevent the threads from fraying in between washes. However, you guys are free to use a straight stitch for this project to produce a cleaner hem. And here we have it, folks, the end result. I absolutely loved how these shorts came out. The length is quite a modest cut for shorts, which I love compared to the more booty hugging ones. However, if this length looks too berries and cream for you guys, you can always roll them up and they would still look just as cute. I love them so much, I ended up doing the same on another pair of corduroy pants that I thrifted earlier. And we have one last project left to handle, guys, so let's finish the job. Our last project to alter is with this pair of pants that is a little too big on the waist. So we're going to fix that little issue. I was looking for more casual pants on days where I want to be comfortable, or on days where I'm on my cycle, or on days where I just can't be bothered, so I just throw something on. And I thrifted these amazing pants from Madewell of all places, and they're a brand known to have some quality but pricey pieces, so I was so happy to have found this at a fraction of the price. These pants are super thick, and the color and pattern were perfect and well within my color wheel. My only qualm about these pants are how they fit. So let me show you. Like many others, I struggle finding the right size, so the fit of these extra small pants are questionable to say the least. My original plan was to open the waistband and shorten the elastic so they can fit high on my waist, and I know mid to low rise pants are trending now, but if they're not covering my belly button, then I don't want it. But because these pants are slightly baggy, I think I'm going to create darts on each side to bring them in. Luckily, I have a physical reference I can use, so let me show you. Before I learned how to sew, my mom altered most of my clothes growing up. Thank you, Mom, for the influence. And this is one of them. These are my scrub pants I wear to work, and if you notice, there's about an inch of fabric folded into each side and sewn all the way down until it reaches the side seams. Here is a better visual for you guys to understand, and I am simply going to replicate the same technique with the other pants. Emphasis on the simply. So to start, I'm pulling the pants up to where I want the waist to sit and then stretching the waistband over to one side and measuring just how much fabric I need to take in, and holy moly, I have to take in about 4 inches total, meaning I would need to fold about 2 inches on each side. Great! Conflicting thoughts aside, let's start the project. I'm taking the pants inside out so I can better visualize where I want the darts to be. I'm going behind where the pockets begin and measure roughly 2 inches away and mark a line there. Next, I'm going to start from the same marking I made and draw a triangle down to the sides. This is where I'll be sewing in the dart. I'll be doing the same on the opposite side, making sure the lines match up. So here I'm using the markings as a guide to sew a dart using a simple straight stitch. It wasn't until I finished sewing the pants I made an unfortunate discovery afterwards. So I made a huge miscalculation. The pants now might fit my waist, but my fucking legs aren't. Can't even get that. I can barely fit one leg in. Holy shit. Instead of 2 inches. I'm just gonna go ahead and rip open the seams and just adjust how much I needed to dart. Oh my god, that was such a fail. Okay, breakdown aside, there's a lot of seams to take out. I'm slowly cutting and unraveling my mistakes, taking extra precaution to not accidentally rip any threads from the actual pants. Thank goodness I used a white thread instead of a brown one similar to the pants. Otherwise, I'd be struggling to tell which is which. What I really should have done is use my reference as a bloody reference. I should have done that from the way beginning. Here, I'm stacking the pants on top of each other and measuring how much I actually needed to take in. And it looks like I would need to take in about 1/2 inch on each side, which is a stark difference from the 2 inches I measured earlier. I don't know how I managed to sew the first time, but when I was starting the dart near the waistband for the second attempt, I had to run the machine over multiple times because the waistband was so thick and difficult to move down. Not only did my machine jam a couple of times trying to go over the waistband, but I also broke a needle in the process. I did not include this when I was making the final edits, but this took a couple of attempts to adjust, and by a couple, I mean 2 days to finally make each dart secure enough to avoid the seams from splitting apart. But I was finally able to sew through the fabric just fine. Don't be like me, guys. Change your needle and go slow when dealing with thicker fabrics. This is take 2 of the pants. Honestly, I think these pants are as good as they're gonna get at this point. I was able to get my legs and hips past these pants. Yay. And the waistband is sitting nice and comfortably high above my belly button. Also yay. The darts, however, it creates a pleating effect, which, don't get me wrong, I do love a good pleating. However, because it's sitting so close to this pocket right here, these pants almost look like gills. They almost look like gills, but at the end of the day, I don't really mind it. It's not as noticeable at the front than it is at the sides. I don't necessarily have to do a good job with these pants. I just have to do a job. Curious to know what this looked like with a belt. Give me 1 second. I thrifted this incredible belt. My gosh, it has a chain on the side, so I'm pretty excited. Oh my gosh, with a belt it's even better. Oh my gosh. This chain on the side right here kind of hides the pleat as well, so that's a bonus. Oh my gosh, everything looks so much better with a belt. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. It's all done. This 3-day project is done. This project took the longest just because of a stupid waistband. I'm pretty happy that this 3-day long project has finally come to an end and I can just rest. That is until the next project. We have finally come to the end of the video, so thank you guys so much for watching and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye! You see my feet? Because where is the camera? Oh, the camera's right over there. Right? Yeah. All right. There's a plane overhead. God damn it. Can you hear my grandma?